Dave here from Amplify, and I'm talking to Morgana
That's
from
it.
Nitocris.
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 Yes.
Nitocris. Is that is
Well,
that how is that how it's pronounced? The Egyptian or whatever the
Egyptian Queen of the Underworld. Yeah, it would be a double T if it was Nitocris.
so it's Nitocris.
Nitocris, yes.
Uh-huh. So it's fight. I feel like I'm going to the gym to get fightness. No, actually, we won't get into
I
that
see.
because we might
Yes.
be talking here for a while. Okay, so Nitocris is it's a obviously it's an interesting look. When I was doing a little bit of research, it's pretty easy to research a lot of bands these days. You're wiki and you've got all their stuff and all this sort of gear, and
Yep,
most of your stuff happened 30 years ago or 20 to 30 years ago.
it did. Yeah,
So, it's not as prevalent, but it raises a whole range of other interesting questions, I suppose. So let's start at the start.
sure.
How did it start? How did the band come together 30 odd years ago? What was
Oh, well, the girls, the rest of the band, the other four members were went to the same high school, and formed a band. I think one of them got kicked out of music class, or both of them got kicked out of music class, and they kind of formed a band from there. They'd been jamming in their bedrooms for a little while. They decided they needed a singer. They advertised in drum media for a singer. I answered the ad. The ad said funk rock, and it had Sex Pistols, Aretha Franklin, and Guns N' Roses as influences. And I was really into all three of those at the time. And when I spoke to Jessie on the phone, A, I thought she had purple dreadlocks. It was the 90s. And B, she said, "Oh no, that was meant to say punk rock, not funk rock." And I was like, "Oh, okay, even better." So I had a jam with them. We jammed on a couple of songs in Jesse's bedroom in Annandale. And it all just connected and worked really well. The girls were already quite proficient and very talented, but also unique players. They weren't trained, so they were, doing their own thing. And I was already kind of embedded in the music industry. I was already 19, they were 15 and 16. So yeah, it was a good connection for all of us to make at the time.
the first all-female punk rockers of the Grot Girls movement? That's a
Yeah, in the 90s Sydney scene anyway. Yeah.
Hunters Hill. They came from Hunters Hill High School, it says, and they had an
Yeah.
average age of 14 when you first met. Or the
15
band
and 16, I think. Yeah.
16, was it?
Yeah,
Uh,
15 and 16, yeah.
but the mums would go to shows as chaperones.
Yeah. Well, we had it's interesting because at our first show, we had a bunch of people wanting to look after us. So we had all these business cards of agents and stuff because, we were a heavy all-girl band, a bit of a phenomenon in the music
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, girl power.
And when we kind of I interviewed a lot of them and kind of sat down with them and went, all right, so what's your plan for us? And a lot of them said, oh, you'll have to do all ages shows until you come of age. And there's one guy who ended up being our manager for the first half of our career, said, oh, bugger that, we'll just get your parents to come along to the shows.
Yeah.
And then we did some really big supports. We ended up touring with Screaming Jets, and we went supported Suicidal Tendencies and all sorts of bands. Yeah.
Psycho.
Well,
Psycho.
we even played with Big
Psycho's a great guy. Psycho's,
Pharrell.
Suicidal had Metallica were supports for them at the start.
Yeah, and Grinspoon was supports for us at the start.
That's boom
Funny
boom.
how things, isn't it funny how things
Well,
rotate?
I think as you've got older now that you're what 25 or 30 or however old you are now,
Yeah.
just, trying to be polite here.
Yeah, that's
Dana.
lovely. Thank you.
But
Appreciate it.
I think you appreciate. I think as you get older, consciousness becomes more a part of your life because you start to
Definitely.
become a bit fatalist because you sort of say, "Hey, there's less time." When you're 15 and you've got four times, five times what you've lived, it's a bit
Yeah.
different than when you're 50 and you
Yeah.
think, I might not have a lot left. So when you look at these things and you're looking back at them and all that sort of stuff, an interesting sort of play, especially from an
Yeah.
experiential point of view, because
Definitely.
we get
Perspective
caught
is in.
we get caught too much in the doing, in the mind stuff, and we don't have enough reflection on the. And I interviewed Psycho
Yeah,
last year, and he's a great interview. He's a fantastic guy, and he's
yeah,
just a normal guy, and he's throwing out Pantera and Linkin Park and all this like they're just they caught up last week and had a
yeah, yeah.
coffee and decided to do something. And it's the same with Grimspoon. Grimspoon are legends, and now to
Yeah,
catch up with them, for you guys to catch up with them, they'd
yeah.
probably think like a bit like the Eagles and Linda Ronstadt. The same thing. They always spoke of her with huge regard, and they were sensational. Okay, how would you describe your sound?
Oh, Nitocris.
Yeah,
This. I guess we were sort of in the beginning we were sort of punk thrash metal. But as we progressed through our writing careers, we became a bit more experimental in with rock. So more melodic, we became more melodic, more harmonies, and a bit more song structure rather than just this kind of riff to riff to riff to riff. So I don't know what we are now. Yeah, it's too hard.
old timers, old timers.
Old timers, yeah.
No,
Let loud ladies.
do you think the fans resonated because was it the novelty? Was it the performance? Was it the
Yeah.
music
Oh,
combination?
probably all three. Probably all three. I think initially maybe the novelty, but the fact that we could play and pull off a really good show and we were fast and heavy and loud and proud. We weren't hiding behind anything. We had a strong drive to be female rock and roll musicians, and to perform and rock out as much as we could. So it wasn't a show pony thing for us. It
And
was we really wanted to craft,
and
great songs and great music.
drunk guys do what drunk guys do, and
Oh, they do. Yeah.
teenage girls do what teenage girls do.
Oh, yeah.
Were there some dramatic times in there where
Oh, yeah.
parents were saying, "Have you seen blah blah? I haven't seen it for the last 2 hours or something like that."
Oh, we had our moments through being all girls in a band together. But we also had moments with fans where men were just shitheads, really. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Sarah,
as usual.
Sarah on a couple of occasions booted people in the face because they were just, being disgusting at the front of the stage. And we've had stalkers and yeah, all sorts of weird things go on. And a lot of mansplaining throughout the years as well. A lot of men trying to explain how to put our gear together and, you know, do
Yeah,
you need this help with that? That kind
yeah,
of stuff that you
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
normally say to a bloke band. You wouldn't ask them if they need a hand with
No,
their pedals,
no,
you know,
no,
unless they
no,
were having a
no.
problem with them.
Yeah, 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 exactly,
So we've
exactly.
definitely copped our fair share of sexism and mansplaining.
Okay, so you toured a bit. The disbanding in 2001, what was that? Why did you decide enough was enough? Was it getting to the partner, mortgage, marriage, kid stage, or was it just you'd had enough? You'd done enough?
I think it was a combination of lots of things, as they usually are when bands disperse. It's never really one thing, is it? Because otherwise one member would go, right? So I think a combination of um, yeah, creating families, studying and going to university, getting jobs that were actually making money. Also, other people had different agendas and wanted to do different things with their musical
Yeah,
careers.
yeah, I've seen that.
And we had a lot of grief and loss as well around that time, which caused
As
a
in
lot of
parents,
tension.
parents and stuff, or
Yeah, and friends as well. Yeah, you're in the music industry, it happens. You
of
lose
course.
people. But yeah, so we there was a lot of pressure and tension around the band at the time as well. And in the end, I think a few of us wanted to go off and do things and we kind of considered staying without them, but then we're kind of like, nah, it's not the same without all of us. So we just decided to go on an indefinite break. So technically we were still on an indefinite break.
That's right. You
But we've
came
already
back.
done one reunion show.
In 9 years. After 9 years, you come back for one, and now it's 25 years
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
I've never known many musos to, you know, get really comfortable with not getting the spotlight. How does that how do you do that after 9 years of you know, front stage and getting all this adoration or whatever applause and performing,
Yeah.
spending the next 20 or 30 sort of doing something different.
Yeah, well, I'm still performing, and so is Jesse and Andy and Sarah. Kira, not so much, but we've all still been playing in bands and performing. I guess the difference being is that it's probably not as popular as Nitocris was because they're not,
Yeah.
they just haven't like all girl bands or whatever these days. It doesn't really matter, you know.
Yeah.
So we haven't got the same sort of attention. For me. Uh, Music has had to be or is a passion of mine and something I do to release creativity and to inspire myself and other people. And I think that's my purpose with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
not
no, no.
fame and fortune. And
No, no, no. I got that.
if I did deliver it that way for myself, I'd be like really unhappy because the rewards in the music industry these days are very
For
minimal.
for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone. That's
Because
right.
I talk to tourers that have been around for 30 years, arena tourers, they
Exactly.
say it's a good holiday, but it's not. It's not. You can't, you've got to be doing,
Yeah.
these days, you've got to be doing something else as well. You've got to be acting, or you've got to take it into some other
Yeah.
fashion, or you've got to take it into some other place where there is money. Because the
Yeah,
music
exactly.
industry traditionally and all the labels and all that sort of stuff are all crafty, crooked people. So they just
Yeah.
there isn't a good contract. There's
There's
only
not much money to be made
no,
in
there's
the music
not.
industry these days. And venues are dying left, right, and center as well. You know, I
And
think the
travel's become expensive because of the orange guy, and
expensive,
wars and all that sort of stuff.
yeah.
So you can't,
And
if
what
you're thinking about touring overseas, it's too expensive.
yeah, true. And like back in the 90s too, we had student unions at the unis that were compulsory. So the fees were compulsory. And we would fund our tours with those uni gigs, sorry.
Yeah.
We'd get, 3 grand guarantees or something for those. And most bands would. And then that would fund the tour to all the smaller venues that you're
Yes.
playing where you're only
Yes.
getting a couple
Yes.
of bucks. So yeah,
It-
so
it's
that really changed the music industry. And the proof of age cards as well really changed it as well when, less of the youth were able to come into the venues and that, yeah, venues started to get a lot more compact.
Okay, have you thought about coming together to bring any new music out at all, or is it just the reunion shows that's
Not at this stage. I think we need to see if we can all be in the same room together and rehearse and perform.
really?
And well, yeah, I think, it's been years since we've all been in the same space together musically. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. And
Yeah,
it might just happen. We might just write
uh,
something while we're together, but we may not also. And also we've all got other musical projects that we're focused on at the moment.
yeah, that's enough.
So I don't think it's an intention,
Yeah.
but you just never know what's going to happen once you get in the same
So
space, right?
so on October 3, you're going to have drawn parts on the stage. You stay there. You sit there. You stand there.
No,
No, you're
no,
gonna.
we're not like that at all.
It's going to be
No, no.
entertaining.
We're actually quite close still, all of
How do you
it.
prepare a reunion show? Because ultimately, most bands are rehearsing
Mm,
all the time, and so what they're
yeah,
doing is they're just
herein
saying
lies the challenge.
they've got a width of material to pull from and new material. So how do
Well,
you guys create a reunion show?
uh, you mean as in rehearsing and practicing?
Well, what's the show comprise of? What's the music?
Well,
What are the fans after? Do you ask fans what they're after, or do you
oh
just turn
yeah,
up?
we'll do a few posts on what would you like to hear at the reunion show. But ultimately we put a set together of the songs that we love the most. And then a couple of ones that we know the fans absolutely love. Some of the hits, obviously, and some of the, the moshing songs where people jump up and down and that, the live sort of stuff that really punches. In regards to like rehearsing as well, we've got, I think, 3 rehearsals together before we play, and we're all communicating a lot at the moment about the challenges of playing songs that we played in our youth.
Yeah,
It's
I think there'll probably be a fair bit of industry there, I would think, So it won't
Yeah,
be
we've
as
got the old label people turning up and yeah, a few sort of people that used to take pictures in their old days and
yeah,
stuff
yeah, yeah.
like that. But
So
yeah.
it'll be fun. Okay,
Yeah.
if you could perform with any music artist alive or dead, who would you choose? Why?
Um I'd probably say Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
Quite
one of
so.
my favorite songwriters slash musicians. He's just such a cool cat. I'd love to co-write with him
Yeah.
at some point in the future. And we did the big day out with them, so I got to watch them side of stage, but it'd be awesome to actually perform or sing with him.
93 or 94? When was what was the
2001,
the later big
I
day
think
out.
it
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
2000 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
When
okay.
PJ Harvey was on the same bill as
Yeah.
well. She's
Well,
another one of my kind of idols. I love PJ, but don't
well,
want to write with her, but just love her individuality and uniqueness.
I spoke to Cash Savage an hour ago,
Oh yeah.
and he said that PJ was his favorite artist.
Yeah, nice, nice. There's
So,
some, yeah, she's pretty cool.
okay. Have you got any? What are you're saying you're still performing in that? What are your long-term music aspirations? Well,
I
you're just a child. You know, you've got so much.
I'm just the young thing. Yes, that's right. Um, I play in a band now called the Sugar Beats with Sarah from Nitocris, who's a bass player, and my partner Adam, who's a drummer. So we're a three-piece. So I play guitar and sing now rather than just singing as I did in Nitocris.
Yeah.
The other girls have projects as well. Jess is Raising Ravens, and Andy's playing in Sand Viper. Um, but I think for me, my aspirations would be to make another record with the Sugar Beats. And the single that we're about to record, we're doing a split single with a band called Les Cools.
Yeah.
Um, and then, I mean, ultimately,
Collaborate with Quatzer, obviously.
oh, dream, that would be a dream to write with Josh. I'd love to do a lot more co-writes in the future, actually. I quite enjoy co-writing. And
And there's money in it too. You know, you can in some of that sort of stuff if you get the right song out or whatever. You know,
yeah,
there's money in syncing and there's money in movie music and all that sort of gear as well. So if you're creative,
yeah,
you can go down that path. But like you
yeah,
say, it's hard to get it from the traditional music, live music sort of
yeah.
paradigms because everyone's less people go out. They don't need to go out anymore. You know, you've got
That is
streaming.
true. That is true.
You order the food, you don't leave your chair. Everything's
Yeah.
just where you sit, which
We were
is
talking about that just yesterday, saying that so much entertainment at home now that people don't need to go out. And people used to just go to the pub for a beer to be social, right? And they
yeah,
just don't do that anymore.
but it's even worse than that because we've got to a phone era where you're on your bed in the bedroom. It's
Yeah.
the fear of community. Like, you know, you're
Yeah.
just not used to going out and being a part of people
True.
unless
Yeah.
you're in a traditional scene like a football or a soccer match or something like
Yeah.
that, where
Tribal
it's
kind of.
just it's
Yeah.
accepted. You
Mm.
know, it's just a harder sort of scene to stand up, and you know, everything grog's expensive, and everything's sort of got more expensive to do
That's
anything,
true.
and
That's true.
so
But
we
community is
don't.
very important, I think. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like it's something that when I was younger, I was very independent, and for me, independence was everything. And then I think I got to about maybe 27, 28, and went, hang on a sec, community is probably more important than
Yeah,
independence
yeah,
because we need each other to survive as humans,
yeah,
and our connection with people, whether that be a physical, verbal, whatever it is incredibly important for our happiness and survival, and from a subconscious level too, not a conscious level. So,
yeah. I agree.
yeah.
I agree. I think the there's you know, in my view, there's a moment in your collaboration whether that's all that exists. So it's just you. It's just you and whatever's taking place. But the
Mm.
community is the reminder. So as we keep forgetting what
Mm.
we're supposed to do, having the right community around you keeps on feeding you what you need to keep going back
Correct.
to being on
Yeah,
track. So
absolutely.
I think community is very important. And
It's that
especially
connection,
in,
isn't it?
what's that?
It's a connection, isn't it? It's that
Connection.
point
And
of connecting with another person through music and art.
And we need to drive it more from a music point of view because Cash was talking about, you know, community radio and all this sort of gear being so important from a musical point of view, and
Uh-huh.
we tend to, you know, we've got these flick phones, and we tend to not concentrate on the important stuff, and we give away
Yes.
our power. So
That's right, we do,
if we
yeah.
took it back,
Mm.
we could rule the world.
But
Taking
do
it
we want
back,
to? Do we
taking
want
it
to
back.
rule the world?
The orange guy, obviously. Okay, here we go. We're going to finish off with some stupid questions as usual, and
Stupid questions.
you know you've got to answer honestly. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Craziest thing I've ever done. Oh.
It would have to be in that Nitocris period, I would think.
Ah.
Oh no, you've probably done some crazy things. I think
Well,
it wasn't.
I don't know if I've ever really done anything crazy. Like, I'm
Come
probably more.
on,
Oh, look, I'm probably more methodical. Like, I'm quite cautious. I'm quite a cautious person, believe it or not.
really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I took a lot of acid. That's probably the craziest thing I've done. And had some pretty wild experiences there.
So did Jobs. Very creative. It's very creative, though, they say. It's very creative. It's not as bad as speed and stuff like that. It doesn't
No.
kill you like that sort of stuff does. So it's
No, it opens your mind up quite a lot to visual things as well. And yeah, I know I tend to philosophize a lot when I take acid. Yeah, talk. Yes,
the old quiet
I'm blushing.
what's this world all about? Or and then where's that bag of chips? I remember I got caught one night. I was high one night and I was on the bed in a place that I was renting at at the stage years ago, and I had a bag of the soy chicken or whatever chips, and I had two blocks of the 250-gram Cadbury's. And it was
Ooh.
like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've got the TV going, and I'm just off my nuts. And I'm eating these chips, and the bag never ended. It's like I'm
Oh,
eating them, and I'm just saying, "This is not ending." They're just refilling. Like I had this just mental sort of up, and I think I had either one or both bars of the chocolate, and I think I was pretty bad the next day. So
yeah.
don't take drugs, kids. Don't take
No, unless you're supervised.
unless you're supervised. Or what's he in Love Actually? Don't buy drugs, kids. Become a muser. They buy them for you. He said.
I love it.
Okay, what's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Oh, probably design. I love interior design and music as well. You know, yeah, any kind of pattern fabrics.
Someone's doing that, aren't they?
And
Someone's got a fashion label or fashion.
Sarah does. Yeah, Sarah has her 50-foot Queenie label, and
Cool,
she's doing some interesting stuff at the moment. And I'm studying interior design, which is a little bit
cool,
different. Yeah.
cool. What's the one thing you like most about yourself?
My tits?
Well, you're going to have to show us. No, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Great line. Heard that a
That's
thousand
now
times.
I've done a lot of interviews. I've done a lot of interviews, and I haven't come across anyone yet that sort of said their nuts or their tits. So that's quite a unique sort of answer.
I
So
think my ability to look outside the box as well. I think I appreciate that about myself when I'm trying to solve problems or be creative, is that I don't always think of the most simplest solution. Which can be a bad thing as well because people need to rein you in sometimes. But
there is nothing bad. There's
I
just
like
things
that.
there's just things you
The
perceive
good
as
comes with the
bad.
good,
You're in
right?
control of everything that you think.
Oh,
So basically, anything you think can be whatever you want it to be. So
love
basically, you can
that.
just, the paradox of that whole sort of process is
Mm,
that people can't understand it, and I say stop worrying about understanding because
yeah.
basically it's just very fragile. Okay, let's
Yes.
finish with these are current or all-time favorites. Favorite album?
At the moment, there's an album by actually no Queens of the Stone Age. Anything by Queens of the Stone Age, pretty
Quotza.
much any of their
What
albums. Yeah.
favorite artist? I presume you're going to say Quotza.
Yeah, and Vex. Have you heard of a punk band called Vex from
Yeah. Of
Washington?
course, of
Yeah,
course.
really like that band as well. I've just been following his other bands as well. Follies, I think, is the latest creation from that guitarist.
Cool.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
I think I have a couple. City of the Lost Children, Delicatessen, and Wild at Heart are probably my three favorite films.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty succinct. Favorite place to visit?
Uh, Want to or have visited.
Doesn't matter.
I love the
Shortest.
South. I love the South Coast. I live on the South Coast, but further up, like down towards is it Maria? That way. Anyway, down the Sapphire Coast is really beautiful. But I really want to go to Spain, um, and New Zealand. I'd love to go to New Zealand as well.
They speak similar languages. Uh, no, well, New Zealanders have got a strange language over there. I don't quite understand it. Actually, that comes from sport, you see, because we hate the All Blacks, and we
Oh,
hate, because we're competitive. I'm a Collingwood supporter, so I hate every other team. And so as soon as you say New Zealand, I think about all the times they beat us in rugby and how angry I was when they did. Favorite place to, sorry, favorite venue to play.
um,
What venue did you like playing when you played it?
I think back in the day, probably the uni bars were my favorite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the Metro was fun to play too. But these days, the Lincoln Pin and the Mosh Pit are probably my favorite venues to play. Just because they've got a close kind of community vibe about them. They're intimate,
Yeah.
and they're huge supporters of independent music. So
Which is great. Which is
yeah,
great. Favorite food?
chocolate.
What? It's got to be Cadbury's.
Well, I like
Right?
high-end chocolate actually.
You like what sort? What?
High-end chocolate, like gourmet. I'm into any kind of Lindt or Lindor, any Belgian, Dutch chocolate, truffles, that kind of stuff. But my go-to is some dark Lindt chocolate or some plain Cadbury's chocolate.
Wow. I think I went 5 years, I reckon, and I had a block every night at one
Oh yeah,
stage.
I eat chocolate every day,
It's just,
definitely.
and,
It's a
and I,
bad
I
habit.
went through a stage where I thought, okay, too many calories and all that sort of gear. But then I got to a place where I said, sometimes if you've got chocolate and it's early morning, you think, I'm going to have some chocolate at night, and it sort of feeds your whole day because you can look forward to the chocolate at night.
I figure it's a better habit than cocaine, right?
Oh, hang on. Less expensive, but
That's
I'm not
expensive,
sure
that's
about
for
better.
sure. Like about a 20th
Favorite
expensive.
favorite drink, tits and chocolate. You're a good date, Garner. Favorite drink.
Uh, I've been getting into tea a lot lately. My friend Carrie, Phyllis, who I used to play in the Fang and Felines with, has been making her own teas. Been getting into her teas. So a lot of herbal teas,
Cool.
um, cold teas, and I love my coffee as well. I have to have my coffee. But I don't drink much, so I don't have a
Pardon
big kind
me.
of alcohol drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite person in history, apart from me.
Ooh, favorite person in history. That's a tough one.
Well, it could be parent, it could be Mandela, it could be, Joan of Arc.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, you say
Um,
you're philosophical, so you
yeah,
must
I
have, you
mean,
must have thought
I
about,
think I think Patti Smith is probably someone
yes,
who's
of course.
influenced me a lot politically, poetically, and musically. Um, so if we're talking history and like her influence on it, I think yeah, Patti Smith.
Listen, just before I finish, one more question, but just before I
Yeah,
finish, I think to myself, because I also think about a lot of stuff, or have done over the years. I probably
yeah,
think less these days than I used to. But I think we've got, like women have periods every month, yeah,
yeah,
predominantly.
yeah,
And men don't, no one, the whole world doesn't think about it at all. There's an uncomfortable, there's a pain, there's
yeah.
just
It's been
month
hidden.
after month after month after month cramps, all this sort of stuff.
That's
And
true.
and men don't think about it, don't go through it, nothing. They might break their leg at football and recover in 6 weeks, and
Yeah,
or
yeah,
all this sort of stuff. And I
yeah.
think about the inequality of the world
Mm.
insofar as the patriarchs are still men, and we still live in a male-dominated world.
We sure
And
do.
the women that get through are almost selected by the men to get through so that they can say, we're moving towards
I wouldn't say
equality.
that I was selected. I would
No,
say
but
that I chose myself. Thank you very much.
we've got to do a lot. We've got to do a lot more
Oh,
because,
look,
but
it's a huge subject to talk about.
huge.
I don't even
So
know where to start with that, other than, be who you want to be, do what you want to do, yeah, and don't
was it a
take the
big thing back like
mansplaining.
in '92? In '92, was it different to today in terms of how the girls were seen in terms of their rights?
Well, I think we still have the same rights. In fact, I think some of them are going backwards in some countries.
Yeah,
But I think that the openness to women in creative pursuits that were dominated by men is definitely greater. So,
yeah,
for
yeah,
example, there's more consideration for women on bills and
yeah, yeah,
festival circuits and
yeah,
things like that. Whereas
yeah,
back in the
yeah,
day, it was like, oh, we've already got a girl band, oh, we don't need another one.
yeah,
Whereas these
exactly.
days, we've got to make sure we've got half-half. But I think that's a gender equality thing happening across the board, especially with the LGBTQI plus community, QIT, I always get the last one wrong, sorry, plus community as well. I think that's part of that growth is in acceptance of all
Yeah,
walks of
others.
life,
Yeah.
all walks of
All
life.
right, last question. Do you have a tattoo?
Oh yeah, I've got a few.
What's your favorite?
Probably my spider on my bum. My first tattoo was a redback spider on my butt.
I keep
Yeah.
on telling people you got to show us your favorite tattoo.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
No,
But
no,
I'm getting a
no.
new one, which I'll have by the time I'll have most of it done actually by the time the
And
reunion
what's
comes
that?
around. I'm getting a full sleeve done, like a vintage floral, across my chest and arm and yeah, inside as well. And
Why?
why?
No, I'm just wondering, it's a full sleeve is a commitment.
It is a commitment, that's true. Um, well, A, they're addictive, like chocolate. So I think once you get one tattoo, you end up getting more. It's just part of being tattooed. B, it's decorative and creative. For me, it's an expression of myself. Um, Permanent as well. And also, I've lost a bit of weight, so I've got some flabby arms, so I'm kind of trying to cover them up.
The one thing you can't like. I'm 68, so I'm an old dog. So the one thing that I find is I go to the doctor, I step on the scales, I say, oh, no, I've got to lose some weight. So I give up chocolate for a month, 2 months, give up chips.
Month? You can do a month? I
Well,
can do a day, like a
yeah,
day.
maybe. So I give up all this stuff and I go to the gym and I feel like, yeah, I'm getting thinner. It's sort of my clothes feel better, etc. I go back to the doctor, same weight.
Yeah, yeah.
I go back to chocolate, I do stuff, I feel like I'm fat, I don't fit into anything, go to the doctor, same weight.
It's all about the amount of calories you take in. It's if you can reduce your calorie intake down to 1,000 a day, you'll lose weight, I guarantee
God bless. Good luck, if you want
you.
to. Thanks, Morgana, for
Oh, no
that
worries, Dave.
interview. I'd love to. I'm going to start a podcast at some stage, or I'm going to start offering a few different interviews. I want to do deep dives
Oh yeah,
because,
that'd be cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff that people say in different parts, and I
Yeah.
think, geez, I'd love to investigate
Delve
that.
deeper into that. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's guys I did one yesterday. I won't say who, but the band's pulled out 30 albums. He's pulled out 20,
Wow.
and so an old timer,
Terrific.
and
Yeah.
you'd know him because he's a legend.
Yeah.
And he says, when he goes on stage, if there's 100 people there and 99 are cheering and one's sort of looking at his phone, he concentrates on the one that's looking at his phone and say, why aren't I blah, 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 blah. So they have this self sort of situation where there's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
demand to make sure that everything's perfect and everyone believes and all this sort of stuff. And a lot of these people that we interview,
Mm.
I think it might have even been Psycho who had to walk around and sort of do an interview in a park. He had to have the phone down here. He couldn't sit and do a normal face-to-face interview.
Oh, interesting.
So
Interesting. Yeah.
everyone's got something going on, and everyone
Yeah.
looks at them because we live in this celebrity age where they look
Mm.
at them as deities and they think the touring artists make heaps of money and all this sort of stuff. and it's just a misnomer. And when you
It is.
actually get to know people and see them, they're
Yeah.
just as fragile as everybody else,
Oh, absolutely. If not fragile,
if not
and you
more
know,
fragile. That's right.
many of
And
us come from traumatic backgrounds, like we're trauma because that's what we've used music to help us through trauma a
and
lot of the time. So yeah,
and
you'll find
they
most of
they
us.
pulled out 40 odd albums or more
Mm,
between them over that period, and
yeah,
he was gone on H for like 10 years or 15 years. So when you think about the stories that are involved in those scenarios, it's
mm,
just an enormous story that you'd love to get to the bottom of and sort of start talking about.
yeah.
Especially if you ever saw in the actors studio, they going back to, parents and what your dad do and what your mum do and all this sort of gear.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it sort of informs the whole process, or they broke
Yeah,
up, and that's why
yeah,
you're the way they are, or as in Cash's, his mum and dad were performers, and they are still performers.
yeah,
So,
nice.
it's
Yeah,
almost you grow up you've got to be a performer almost because it's just the one thing that, you
yeah.
sort of learn all the way through. So
Yeah, well, you learn to express
if I
yourself
get it
that way.
going, if I get it going and you feel motivated, yell out and we'll do that as a separate, and then
Oh,
you
I'd
can.
love to. Yeah, I'm happy to chat about anything really. I'm a bit of an open book.
And I'd love to talk about the female thing as well more because I thought
Sure.
about it. I had a triple bypass, and I
Oh
thought
wow.
I thought to myself when I was recovering 20 years ago,
Mm.
maybe this is like pregnancy or something rather when you go and have a baby or something because
Ah,
it's just
ah.
it's just painful for about 2 months. It's just as a stitching,
It's
and you
nine
just
months of pregnancy.
no 9 months. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you're out in under 36 hours or something. Crazy. It's
Well, if
crazy.
you're in the public, they want you bed the same day these days, I think.
Oh no.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's another mad sort of situation. Anyhow, it's been great talking to you. We'll whack this
Lovely.
up there. People will find out Nitocris. I can't believe that it's Nitocris. I can't believe that that's because it's NIT. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe.
yeah. It's the there's little sounds and big sounds to vowels. It's the big sound.
So
It's
it
the
was
I.
always Nitocris,
Oh yeah, always Nitocris. Yeah.
and no one ever said Nitocris.
Oh, they always said Nitocris. There's so many. We had a T-shirt once that had all the different variations of our name on the back. Knight of Clits and Knight of Christ, and yeah, there was plenty of them.
Oh, all right, mate. All the best. Be well.
Yeah,
Take care. Have a great. Where is the third? Where are you doing the October show?
we've got two shows now. So we're doing the third at Marrickville Bolo and the 17th at the Crowbar. And we've also got a re-release of our last record on vinyl coming out as well. So
Sensational. Actually,
haven't
that's
got.
coming out in September, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So pre-sales are available now, pre-orders. And we've just stopped pre-orders for t-shirts, but they'll be available at the shows as well. So,
Sounds excellent.
yeah, yeah. It's nice to be doing all this again. And it's been great connecting with the girls again as well.
Well, you can do
Yeah,
anything anytime. It's just
yeah,
up to
yeah.
you. So just if you want to do something, go down that direction. Die doing that.
I love that advice. It's great advice, Dave.
Good on you, man. Be well, take care. And if you
Thank you.
need anything from us, go out and we'll try and help in any way we can.
No worries.
Good on you, mate. Be well. Take
Thank
care.
you.